Alright guys, so now that I have successfully logged in to edpuzzle and created my classes, I can now start assigning content. From that, from the homepage here, I can search any of these popular channels or simply use the search bar. I'm going to search for something, global wins. When it pulls up your search results, you'll see these little teardrops, and those indicate the number of questions that have already been added to the video. I'm going to pick this first one. We'll just say I like it. But I noticed that some of the questions are open-ended. With the open-ended questions, you have to go in and individually grade those, whereas the multiple choice questions are graded automatically. So what I want to do is I want to take out the open-ended questions. So I'm going to come down here on the right-hand side and click Edit. This brings me into their editing tool, and there's several things you can do here. If you hover over the left or right side of this blue bar, you can slide it to cut the video to make it shorter. You can add voiceovers, or you can add or change the questions. Let's say I want to get rid of the open-ended question, so I'm going to click this question, and it brings it up over here. To delete it, you click the trash can. If you want to edit it to a multiple choice, you can click the little pin and edit it. I'm just going to delete it. Same goes for this bottom open-ended question. So when it decides to load, I'll click it. And I'm going to delete this question. And this question, I'm also going to delete because I don't want an open-ended one. Now that leaves me with two multiple choice questions. I always like to add a question right at the very end since we don't allow skipping. That way they have to watch it all the way through. If my last question was right here, even if I didn't allow skipping, once they're finished with this question, they could simply X out of the video because there's no more questions to answer for their grade. Now, it will show me that they only watched 30% of the video, but they will have maybe gotten 100% on the questions. So I always put a question at the end that they have to watch the whole thing to be able to answer that question. So once you've picked where you want that question to come in, so maybe here or here, multiple choice, open-ended, or you can just make a note to where if you want your student to note something, it's just something for them to read. I'm going to add a multiple choice question. And it's kind of like Google Classroom here. Type your question. So what was this video about? Obviously, this is just to show you how to do this. I'm not actually using this one. So I could say snakes, global winds. I can add another answer choice. We can say the coronavirus. And I will click the check mark on the one it pertains to and save it. Okay, and now you can see my question here. So I've decided that's good enough. I can add more questions, anything I want from here, but I'm done, so I'm going to click finish. And this is now in my content under global wins. You'll see that I have my 3 questions here, and now I can assign it. I can delete it if I don't like how I edited it, anything I want here. So I am going to assign it. Let's say I assign it to my stem rotation, start today. I'm going to try this due date thing again. I haven't figured it out yet. Hold on. Oh, save. See that, guys? I just had to scroll down just a tad, and there it is. Save. I'm going to post it on Google Classroom. And I can click assign right there. I'm not going to click assign because I'm not actually assigning this. You can also save it for later. You can start it for 2-3 weeks from now if you want, any of that. Remember, I always like to prevent skipping and post it on Google Classroom. I'm going to X out of that. I'm going to go back to edpuzzle. There's other things you can do, guys. Just take a few minutes and explore these things over here on the left, okay? We've got curriculum. I can go here to middle school content and check this out. SPED, PE and health, languages, science, all sorts of things, guys. ELA, math, electives. So say I go to science. Cool videos, STEM, science fair. I mean, look at all these different things I can go to just to kind of break things down. So in STEM, I can go to real world STEM, and here's a bunch of videos that pertain to that. I can go back to curriculum. I can go middle school, and I mean, there's just a lot of cool things. Computer science, college readiness, family and consumer science, different things like that. Let's see here. We also have under Wells Middle School. I can also see, so if another science teacher posts videos, I can see what they post to see what science is in my school. And then I could see my other subject areas here as well. So you can see here David Brown posted those videos. I can go to the grade book up here on the right, if you see where I'm at. And I can go to one of my classes. Let's go way back here. It's been a while since we've used. Okay, so I can see my students over here. I can see, let's look at, see if I can find one here. So this was when I was having surgery, so they had 2 days of nothing but edpuzzle. So you can see here that different students spent different amount of times in the apps, in the videos, and you can see the scores they made over here, and it will also go, you can export it to your gradebook. There's also a way to add a video to your edpuzzle if it doesn't show up. So if I want to show a video about global winds that is on YouTube, but it has never been uploaded into edpuzzle, I can do that as well. To do that, the easiest way is to go to Google and search Chrome extensions. Okay, and you want to go to that first link there, and you're going to search the store for edpuzzle. This one right here, you can see I've already added it, but you'll simply, over here it will say add to Chrome. If you add that extension, anytime you go to YouTube and find a video that is not an edpuzzle, you can simply add it. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm now on YouTube. Here is a robot test here. What I can do once it pulls up in YouTube is right here, edit with edpuzzle. I click it. That's all I do, guys. I click it and it comes up into the video editor. From here, I can edit the time. I can add my questions. Okay, so I can come in, add my questions.
Grounds. I'm standing on.
I can add my questions, finish it, and assign it, just like I did the other one. So the 10 seconds it takes to add that edpuzzle extension is way, way, way worth it. I highly recommend it. This is all I can think of to show you for now, but I can see some really, really great uses with this for this last 7 weeks of school. I can go in and see how much time my kids spent watching the video, if they watched 30% or if they watched 100%. I can see their grades on the, I can see their grades that they got on the questions I've added. I can upload a video of me teaching my keynote, kind of like I'm doing this, and I can see how long they watched it, and I can put questions in to check for understanding. This typically costs $9.99 a month for the almost unlimited storage. It's something I've paid for myself for a while, but I really thought it was something we could really utilize in middle school, and ended up getting the grant for a whole building to have it for free. So if this is something that we can all use and show that we use, it's something that we stand to have them renew for us, not have to get a grant for it. So if you like it, let me know. Again, don't hesitate to ask me if you have any questions. Thanks for listening to my annoying voice.